A horrific crime and a man facing charges for allegedly raping a woman on a busy SEPTA subway train. Good evening, I'm Dawn Timoney. Investigators applauding the woman for bravely coming forward about her attack, but they're also in shock that no one tried to help her. Our Shawnette Wilson reports.
Police are looking into whether video of the rape was posted on social media. They do say the entire incident was captured on SEPTA cameras. Police and some riders say they're surprised no one on the train called 911. This is 35-year-old Fiston Noy, the man police say raped and assaulted a woman on the Market Frankfurt L. It happened Wednesday night around 10 o'clock.
Now I don't even want to get on the train.
This woman, who doesn't want to be identified, is horrified after hearing what happened.
I do ride the train and I ride it often, but now I think differently. The train may not be something I'm going to ride now.
Investigators say a SEPTA employee reported the incident to SEPTA police, saying something wasn't right with the woman on the L. They did not say where the employee was or what exactly she saw. SEPTA then notified Upper Darby PD after the train pulled into 69th Street Terminal, and SEPTA police had the suspect in custody.
It's unfortunate that it happened and that it had to occur where no one actually stopped to take the time to help.
Sadia Smith is talking about others who were on the train. In a statement, SEPTA police said those people witnessed the horrific act, which may have been stopped sooner if a rider had called 911. We talked to Steve Anderson outside the terminal today.
We need more security.
Upper Darby Police Superintendent Tim Bernhardt says the 30-year-old victim did not know her attacker.
I spoke to her this afternoon. Unbelievably strong woman. She really is. I mean, she came forward. She provided a lot of information, and you know, she's on the mend. Hopefully, she will get through this.
All praise goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors goes into the apostles of Great Millstone that have taught us the truth, and much love, peace, blessings goes out to all the hopeful elect brothers that are teaching the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Hey, so great. As you can see from this news reporting, shows you how crazy things are getting in America at this point, and it's a prelude to what's going to happen when complete lawlessness breaks out. Great, man. This woman on a train in Philadelphia was taken advantage of and broken into her guts by a man who I presume she didn't even know. A random Jake did this to a woman. And we hear incidents of this increasing. You know, these things that are happening to women are really like going underreported and not really talked about in the media, because the media is all about pushing safety to women, comfort. You know, oh, you can go here, buy this, buy that, consumerism. But I mean, I'll say one thing that the media is fear mongering about, if anything, is taking that Jesus juice shot in your arm, right? The jab, the witch's potion, whatever you want to call it, because you can't call it by what it is on YouTube. But other than that, they push a false, try to tell you a false narrative of safety, but the scriptures say there's no peace unto the wicked. So when it comes to all the proud individuals that are against the Heavenly Father and his word in America and even across the world, as far as the women go, because you see, there are set judgments. There are judgments that's going to happen to men. There are judgments that's going to happen to children. There are judgments that's going to happen to women. So when it comes to the women, as much pride as you got, as much independence as you think you may have, and you don't need a man in XYZ, you know, you're a perpetual line crosser, a perpetual line stepper when it comes to what's right and what's wrong according to the Most High. The Most High going to have this happen to you. Because when it comes to our women, man, the Israelite women and all women across the board in America, as I mentioned, they're proud. They have no care for the Heavenly Father's word. They make a business of showing their bodies off and dressing unmodestly and showing off their figures to the world is on social media and in public. So, you know, the spirit that's naturally on men, which really is to grab what they see, because men are naturally predators. Men are naturally, you know, hunt and chase after and grab what they want. When that nature comes out by reason of lawlessness, or I mean, what do you expect? This was gonna happen. And this is a reality that most people on the earth, especially when it comes to women, they're delusional. They have no idea the reality of the world. This is how things work. When there's a breakdown in society, this is what happens. When there's lack of culture, lack of family, lack of protection with a strong male figures in your family, in your community, to protect you, to care for you. Why? Because you chose feminism. You chose to have 5, 6 baby daddies. You chose to post negative things about your men. Leave your men. This is what's going to happen. Okay? Because there's examples of this throughout history. You know, there's a prevalent case. I'm going to read this article. It says, they graped every German female from 8 to 80. This is an actual situation that happened during World War II, when the Soviet army had crossed into Germany, when they invaded Germany. And this is a recounting of what they were doing to the German women after they were killing German men, their army men. It says, Red Army soldiers don't believe, this is a quote, Red Army soldiers don't believe in individual liaisons with German women, meaning sex one-on-one. It says, wrote the playwright Zakar Algornenko in his diary when serving as an officer of Marine infantry in East Prussia. 9, 10, 12 men at a time. They rape them on a collective basis. The Soviet armies advancing into East Prussia on January 1945 in huge long columns were an extraordinary mixture of modern and medieval. Tank troops in padded black helmets. Cossack cavalrymen on shaggy mounts with loot strapped to the saddle. Lend-Lease Studebakers and Dodges towing light-filled guns, and then a second echelon in horse-drawn carts. The variety of character among the soldiers was almost as great as their military equipment. So there were freebooters who drank and raped quite shamelessly, and there were idealistic, austere communists and members of the intelligentsia appalled by such behavior. So, I mean, let's go down. It says, Marshal Rokossovsky issued Order Number 6 in an attempt to direct the feelings of hatred at fighting the enemy on the battlefield. It appears to have had little effect. There were also a few arbitrary attempts to exert authority. The commander of one rifle division is said to have personally shot a lieutenant who was lining up a group of his men before a German woman spread-eagled on the ground. So, hey, these were men acting on their own accord. There was dissent among these troops. Why? Because it was naturally in these men's spirits to get with these women. They've been gone from home, away from their wives, away from society for months on end. No play, no action. So when they got around these German women, they didn't care about order in their army. It's just a spirit that was put on them to do what they did. So like the account, 8 or 9 men lined up to deal with a woman spread out on the ground, man. This is what's going to happen in America. How much more when there's martial law troops throughout the streets, when there's foreign troops in the streets of America? What do you think is going to happen? This, okay? because this was the judgment the Lord put upon Israel. This is second Esdras. This is describing, when you look at it all in all, describing the calamities and the judgment that happened to our nation for what? Our negative behavior towards the Most High, our wickedness. So a part of that is the judgment that happens to women. It says, second Esdras 10 and 22, our psaltery is laid on the ground. Our song is put to silence. Our rejoicing is at an end. The light of our candlestick is put out. The ark of our covenant is spoiled. Our holy things are defiled, and the name that is called upon us is almost profaned. Our children are put to shame. Our priests are burnt. Our Levites are gone into captivity. Our virgins are defiled, and our wives ravished. Ravished meaning raped, graped. Our righteous men carried away. Our little ones destroyed. Our young men are brought in bondage, and our strong men are become weak. You see that? So that was the overall picture of the calamity that happened to us. That's a total degradation of our social structure, right? Because our priestly order, which would be, if you was call it our religious order, was those men were killed, burned, put to death, because that's who we relied upon heavy for spiritual revelations, etc. Right? That's who Israel goes to in the time of want and need. Our leaders are, the heads of our households killed in the war, in the battle, perished of famine. Our artifacts taken from us, our gold and silver stripped. And a part of that is what will happen to our woman, because that's a man's natural want to defend, whether it be his daughter or his wife. So that is a mark of being conquered. That's a mark of being conquered and pillaged and judged when your woman gets taken. Now you fast forward 1,000 years, 2,000 years from this event, right? Which would be modern day, 2,000 plus years. Women are single. Women don't even care about getting with a man. Women are disrespectful to men. You got to think about it, because the passage I just read happened in a time where women were somewhat in order. They were obedient to their husbands. They weren't showing off their body. They weren't talking publicly ill of men. They had the protection of men, and this still happened to them. How much more today? How much more brutal will it be? You see what I'm saying? It's brutal judgment coming to these women, because it's infuriating things that you see every day coming out from these women. Their pride. When you even say something to them about the showing off their body, you're an oppressor. You're a weirdo, in their opinion. You got women making videos talking about, well, a man should be screened for. This is a literal video, serious video I watched. A man should be, before he enters into a serious relationship, be screened for 3 years of his credit score, his evaluated for his mental, like, what the fuck? You see what I'm saying? There's a total disregard for men overall in this society, especially the Israelite men, especially how the Israelite woman, the Black, Hispanic, and Native American woman views their male counterparts. So when this judgment hits, that, among other things that our people are into, number one being that they don't worship their power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is going to happen, man. Okay? Isaiah 13 and 16, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. And this is the judgment that's set to come upon Babylon. Babylon being America. So what? Children put to death. Hey, that's a sad sight. But then you have to deal with your woman getting raped. And like I said, in this day and age, most women are single, so they just going to be out there. And even when it comes to women of wicked men that are coupled up, the man they just going to kill the man and do what they do with the woman. When it comes to these scenarios and these skirmishes, these wars over, these little skirmishes over resources, that's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? When one guy is sitting there in his house hungry, he got four, five, six of his homies. Then the next dude, he got the next man. They got the drop on him. you know, and they go to his house, and he got his woman, his children there, and some food, what do you think is gonna happen? This is what's coming, man. So all praises goes to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kakodash. Shalom.